Hello, I'm Chris Murphy, Content Director for Data Center World, and I'm here today with Tulio Squarcio, a product leader at Construction Specialties. So, we're going to be talking about some of the changing design and aesthetic trends Tulio is seeing in data center development. We want to jump right in. Historically speaking, data center developers haven't spent a lot of time and energy making their buildings look appealing. So, Tula, I wanted to talk with you about what's happening now in the industry that's leading developers to think much more about how these buildings aesthetically fit into the community.
Well, thanks for having me, Chris. Yeah, I think you nailed it. Historically, these buildings have not been designed with aesthetics in mind. What we're seeing is with data centers encroaching on residential areas, urban areas, there are glazing requirements. There are some design aspects to be incorporated into these facilities. So what we're seeing is architects now paying attention to how to incorporate functional areas of the building with the facade and the elevations, tying in design elements from louvers, openings, windows, entries, and parapets, and equipment yards and equipment zones with the rest of the facade, whether that's incorporated with the tilt-up panels, louvers, screen barriers, maintaining a design aesthetic across and being intentional about some of these products and having continuity in design is what we're seeing architects ask for, more and more to sort of take away from the ominous gray box that data centers have historically been associated with.
Why is that so important today for them to have that sense that it's not a big gray box?
I think two things. One is data centers are encroaching in residential and urban areas. So therefore, they may have that requirement already in place, or they want to have it. And the second is community acceptance. Communities don't view these great, ominous boxes well. It's not what they want in their community. So yeah, I think it goes a long way to make sure that there's a building there that matches the natural landscape. It's just a building that people want to look at is what it comes down to. That they're not, that have a negative association with. I think that goes a long way for the operators and the owners as well.
Another way that data centers need to be a good neighbor is noise, dealing with noise. What are some of the ways that you're helping data centers to be a good neighbor in terms of limiting noise from data center?
Yeah, noise can be a little tricky, and that's because data centers, they try to squeeze every square footage of their facilities to be highly functional and towards computing power. And with lack of space and lack of separation from communities, there's not a whole lot of room there to sort of, put effective sound mitigation. And the second part to that is these are very highly specified equipment. They need incredible power, they need incredible cooling. So there's some very specific needs there that have to be maintained. So you can't just put them in a box and close it up and mitigate sound that way. So it's a balancing act and it's an effort of design coordination to make sure that you maintain your criteria for performance from an engineering standpoint, but also put effective sound mitigation in place. It's not only important for the operators and maintenance crew and the building owners themselves, but it's also important to foster a good relationship with the community, especially when these buildings are closer to residential areas. So some ways that we address this is an effective sound design plan early on that not only incorporates what the facility looks like today and what the community looks like today, but what is it going to look like 10 years from now? Because the cost of having to do remediation in 10 years could be astronomical. Downtime costs to a facility like a data center is in the multiple thousands of dollars per minute. And the reports of downtime and costs associated with that on yearly average are astronomical.
I want to shift gears a little bit from the community discussion to another challenge that data center operators face, and that is really speed of construction and the supply chain challenges that they face. What are you seeing in terms of supply chain needs and challenges for data center operators, and how are you helping them address the need to get these data centers built in a tight time frame?
Yeah, there's a couple things there. There's incredible, fast time frame. They want to be operational as soon as possible. With that comes early phasing and planning. It's being able to build in advance, way ahead of time, to make sure that you can deliver product in the phases that in a timely fashion. That comes with prefabrication, modular construction, and then that's a partnership with the builders as well, and making sure that they are going to be able to take advantage of this modular construction. Um, Prefabrication also allows us, and we've had a significant investment on this in building larger sections of product, which reduce time of install on site, which consequently also reduces parts of the system. So it's less fewer failure points, fewer connection points, aids in speed of construction, and also makes for an overall better product. And with the lack of specialized labor on site, bringing that specialized labor to our manufacturing facility helps overcome that challenge as well.
That's great. We've talked about the incredible growth in this industry and the opportunities that it creates. What's exciting to you about working in an environment like this, and providing capabilities that solve problems for data center operators? What's exciting about working in this industry at this time?
It's unprecedented growth. It's an industry and that's demanding innovation and growth in a way that I don't know that we've seen before. Certainly not in my lifetime. So it's very exciting to be solving problems and taking on challenges in that space, particularly because it allows the funding and the resources, um, to really make meaningful innovations and take big leaps. But also because the problems we solve there are going to spill over to other industries. The incredible systems that are being developed for cooling in data centers eventually are going to be used in hospitals, in transportation, in education. So these problems that we're solving are going to be applied across every sector in the future. So it's exciting to be a part of that. It's exciting to take on these challenges at such a scale that data centers are being built in, and level of complexity, that I believe we're going to see a lot of the benefits spill over to the industry in the upcoming future.
Great. Well, Tulio, thank you for sharing your insights and describing what construction specialties is bringing to this industry.
Thanks for having me, Chris.